Hello and thank you for watching. In case you don't know who we are TechMission, the leading Arabic-speaking gear review channel. You can find our original Arabic channel up there and down there. Here we are creating content in English. If you are interested in more, show us some love with a like, subscribe, and a comment. And tell your friends. This is the Osmo Action 4, the DJI Osmo Action 4, the latest action cam and the most interesting action cam that I have ever played with. Why? For many reasons, some of which I'll discuss today in terms of design, specs, features, and first impressions, and some I'll discuss next week in a real field trip trial of this camera. I'll tell you more about this later, but for now, as we say in Arabic, تابعونا. So, DJI Osmo Action 4, the latest action cam, an action cam with a 1/1.3 size sensor, the largest and most advanced in the action cam industry today. Bear in mind that the GoPro 12 is due in a couple of months, so we'll see when that happens. But for now, at the time of recording this video, this is the largest and most advanced sensor in an action cam to date. Not only that, we have the famous magnetic clip, the design that I really loved on the Osmo Action 3. It does not only allow us to change the mount regularly and easily if we are changing locations or changing from a helmet to a wrist or anything else, but it also allows us to change easily between the horizontal position and the beloved vertical position for all the social media kids out there. Yes, it does shoot vertically and straight vertically from this to the mobile application to social media without having to pass through the computer at all. Something that makes it a content creator preferred action cam as well. The best low light performance that I have seen in action camera so far, including the Action 3 and the GoPro 11. I also have battery life that is excellent. I also have stabilization that is excellent. I'm still waiting for the GoPro 12 to compare those, but for now, it is the best stabilization that I have seen, especially with the addition of a new feature called Horizon Steady. It combines horizon balancing with rock steady, giving us the best stabilization that I have seen so far. Too bad it's only in 1080p, not in 4K. And by the way, the camera records 4K 120 in aspect ratio 16:9, in 4:3 4K 60. On top of all these features, we have Mimo, the best mobile application in the category, in my opinion. I'll tell you all about Mimo in the next video, but for today, I'll tell you more about the design, specs, features, and first impressions, because I did take it with me to Georgia when I was reviewing the drone, the DJI Air 3, and I did put it to test in parasailing, on a zip line, in different conditions that were not extreme enough, so the extreme enough will come next week. For now, let's talk about specs, features, design, and first impressions. In design, the camera is not very different from its predecessor, the Action 3, which is good news for me because I have always been a fan of the design of the Action 3, especially after the ill-fated modular design of the Action 2. The most important feature of the design remains the magnetic clip, which not only allows us to switch mounting easily, but also to switch easily between horizontal and vertical shooting, like I said before. Another interesting design feature is that we can remove the lens cap and replace it with a hood. And that's very important because in nature, wide-angle lenses are prone to flaring, and the hood will help us remove or at least reduce this flaring. Let's put back the lens cap, and on top of that, we can place an ND filter. DJI has a set of ND 8, 16, and 32, and I think they are essential. So if you get this cam, get the ND filters with it. Talking about the lens, it's a 17mm equivalent ultra-wide with fixed f2.8 aperture. Lens performance is excellent, and it is exactly what you expect it to be. Some lens flaring here and there, which is normal for a wide angle. Apart from this, I couldn't find anything wrong so far. I'll test thoroughly in the next video. Yet another interesting design feature and unique to the Action series is that we don't only have two screens, two LCD screens, one in the front and one in the back, but that both of these screens are touch compatible with full control of camera features, specs, and settings. This is interesting and a step above the competition. Camera interface is nice, easy to use, intuitive, and we'll get into detail in a little bit. Under this door, we have the battery and the micro SD slot. It takes micro SD and I am using V30, more than enough for all the frame rates and codecs in this camera. For the battery, it has really good capacity. I'll test more thoroughly in the next video and I'll let you know the exact recording time, but for now I can tell you that I never felt it was too short a life of a battery. The adventure combo that DJI sells as one option of this camera comes with this cradle with 2 additional batteries. This means you can shoot everything that you want to shoot, you can charge the 3 batteries together, and you can carry them easily. I like it. Under this door, we have the USB Type-C port. We use it for charging, for downloading footage from the memory card, and we can use it for DJI mic. So we have an external mic source. However, an external mic source is not exactly necessary. The mic on this camera is doing great. And here are some samples that I recorded externally during my Georgia trip. لحتى نجرب الأوزمو أكشن 4 على أرض الواقع قررت إني أعمل باراسيلينج هون بباتومي. هلا أنا بالمينا. اوكي الباراسيلينج معنا كتير رياضة قاسية وفيها كتير ارتجاجات وهيك، بس إنه رياضة حلوة. في نسجل من فوق، نختبر الصوت كمان بيكون في هواء كتير فوق. تجربة كتير حلوة. ارتفاع 350 متر. كتير مريح الحقيقة، بس بدي أجرب الميكروفون كيف وضعه. بعتقد عم تسمعوني منيح. The camera of course is shock-proof, but this cage adds additional protection to it. It comes with the camera in all its bundles, not necessarily with the adventure combo. With or without the cage, the camera is waterproof until 17 meters underwater, which is far greater than any competition, until today. Let's talk resolutions and frame rates. We have 4K up to 120 FPS in 16:9 aspect ratio, 4K in aspect ratio 4:3, up to 60 FPS. If you want slower motion still, you have 1080p up to 240 FPS. Stabilization varies depending on the resolution and the frame rate that you choose, but in general we can say that we have, with the high frame rate 4:3 aspect ratio, we have Rocksteady and Rocksteady Plus. 1080p 24, 25, 30 frames per second, we have Rocksteady, Rocksteady Plus, Horizon Balancing, and Horizon Steady, the feature that I told you about in the intro. Horizon Steady is unfortunately only available in this setting, so if we go to 4K 16:9, we have off, Rocksteady, Rocksteady Plus, and Horizon Balancing. Personally, I would shoot 4K 16:9 using 24, 30, or 120 depending on the shot that I want with Rocksteady Plus, and that should be enough for me. In terms of focal length options that use a crop to correct distortion, in 1080p without Horizon Balancing, we have ultra-wide, wide, standard, narrow. 4K 16:9, ultra-wide, wide, standard. 4K 4:3, ultra-wide, wide, standard without Rocksteady Plus. The camera supports voice commands in full. I don't use them much. I don't know why, but I'm not a fan. But it does support full control with voice commands. In filming modes, we have photo, video, slow motion, time-lapse, and hyperlapse. We have a quick switch menu, which we can customize to include whichever of those that we are interested in. As mentioned in the intro, the camera supports vertical shooting straight from the camera to the mobile app to social media. An interesting feature for content creators, and I will be using it quite often. The camera has digital zoom, but I don't think that I'll be using that. Regarding image quality and video quality, I have shot in several situations in my trip to Georgia. I shot in low light, action, fast action, not so fast action, and different other situations. And in every situation, I was impressed with the footage. Detailed analysis of the footage in different frame rates, different resolutions, and different stabilization conditions is to follow in the next video. But as a general impression, whenever I used this camera, I was happy. The focus was spot on. In standard frame rates, quality is quite nice, really nice. In high frame rates, quality is much better than anything that I have seen in any other action camera to date. And the new sensor seems to be very effective. It is larger than the previous generation sensor and all other competitors, including GoPro 11 Black. To be fair, we are waiting for the GoPro 12 that is due in a couple of months. We'll see when it comes if it is better or not than this camera. In summary, we have an action cam that is beautifully designed, small in size, good performance in low light, good performance in good light, excellent stabilization, and the best sensor that I have seen in action camera so far. More on that in next week's episode, where we'll put it to test in more extreme conditions. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Show us some love with a like and a comment, and see you in the next video. And cut.